Thank you so much for joining me. Now, today on the throne room, we're going to talk a little bit about Stormborn, and I'm going to give you a review and recap of what happened in episode 2 of Game of Thrones season 7. So, if you're not catched up with the seasons, please go ahead and click off now because there will be some spoilers. I'll also be going into a little bit about the leaks of seasons 7 and what's to come later. So, I'll be going a little bit more deeper into that. But for now, go ahead and get into Stormborn. Now, while Storm lashes in Dragonstone, Daenerys discusses the conquest of Westeros. Tyrion believes that she can take the Iron Throne without a long and costly war. Given their new alliances with House Tyrell of the region Dorne, Daenerys thanks Varys for his help in the regard, but also uses the moment to question the Spider's loyalty. Now, Varys holds his own pledges to always be honest with the Queen. She, in turn, promised to burn him alive if he betrays her, as he did other rulers. Now, Dany moves on to Tyrion, seeking assurance he will fight against and defeat his own siblings. Now, Tyrion tells her he will find a way to convince her of his loyalty. Satisfied, Dany turns her attention to other matters, receiving the Red Priestess, Melisandre. Melisandre introduces herself and, in High Valyrian, informs Daenerys the Long Night is coming again and only the prince who was promised can save them. Now, Daenerys counters that she is not a prince, but Missandei corrects her translation. The word is genderless and could refer to either a prince or princess. Now, less confident than she once was before. Um, Melisandre would not say whom she believes is promised, but knows both Dany and Jon Snow, the king in the north, have roles to play. Now, Tyrion is surprised by the news of Jon's rise to power and suggests he would make a valuable ally. Now, Daenerys tells Tyrion to invite Jon Snow to Dragonstone and bend the knee. At Winterfell, Sansa, Jon, and Davos discuss Tyrion's invitation. Both Sansa and Jon voice their belief Tyrion is a good man, but still think the invitation is too dangerous to accept. Davos agrees but can't help mentioning fire kills whites and Daenerys has dragons. Queen Cersei speaks to gathering of Westerosi noblemen, including Randall Tarley. She asserts that the Mad King's daughter will be no better than her father, whose reign of terror they can't have forgotten. Randall asks how she intends to fight three dragons. Qyburn cryptically answers that they were working towards a solution. Now, when the meeting concludes, Jamie pulls Randall and his son Dickon aside and knows that the influence of the Tarleys hold over the other houses. Now, Jamie seeks to enlist Randall to their side, reminding Randall his liege. Now, he does go ahead and talk about Olenna and now fights against foreign Dothraki and eunuchs. Jamie then offers Randall the title of Warden of the South in exchange for his loyalty. So when the meeting concludes, what happens is Qyburn leads Cersei through a corridor beneath the Red Keep to the chamber where the skulls of the Targaryen dragons are kept. Now, the queen lays her eyes on the largest of the skulls, that is the Aegon's Conqueror's dragon, Balerion the Dread. Have heard one of Daenerys' dragons was injured by a spear in Marine, proving they're vulnerable. Qyburn reveals an enormous scorpion, a crossbow-like device with its steel head bolt aimed at the opposing skull. Pulling the lever to release the bolt, Cersei smiles as it smashes through the ancient bone. Now, Daenerys and her supporters continue to debate strategy firmly but diplomatically. Now, Daenerys says that they will not risk many innocent lives by storming King's Landing, but instead by siege to the capital. Now, Tyrion lays out the strategy since using their foreign fighters, Dothraki and Sully, would only hurt them in the eyes of the Westerosi lords. Now, the Greyjoys will escort Illyria to Dorne to collect her army, then, alongside the Tyrell forces, surround King's Landing. Meanwhile, the Unsullied will assault Casterly Rock to take away the last refuge of House Lannister and deal a symbolic blow to Cersei's cause. Now, the group agrees to the plan, but Olenna, alone with Dany, instructs the young queen to consider listening less to the clever man around her and embrace her really who she is, which is B, the dragon. Now, Missandei enters Grey Worm's chamber, wondering why the soldier was not planning to say goodbye before heading to Casterly Rock. Now, Grey Worm confesses it was too hard because Missandei is his weakness. He kisses her, surprising both of them. Missandei drops her gown, gently undresses the self-conscious Grey Worm, getting into bed and to find other ways to express their love. I thought that was really cute, actually, just to be quite honest. But I wonder what was going on with Clyburn's spear. Is there poison in there? Is there something that we should have to worry about in that? So let me know your thoughts on that. But Sam actually is, away at the Citadel, as we may know, and inside a quarantine cell at the Citadel, Sam watches Archmaester Ambrose examine Jorah's grayscale. Ambrose gives Jorah 10 to 20 years left to live, but only 6 months before his mind is overtaken. Speaking out of turn, Sam mentions Stannis Baratheon's daughter Shireen was cured of the disease, but the Archmaester says Jorah's situation has progressed well beyond their skill level. Sam is surprised to discover Jorah is the son of the late Lord Commander Mormont of the Night's Watch. Sam follows Ebros, through the library and helping collect books. He tells the Archmaester that he believes he's found a way to treat grayscale and the study of rare diseases. Ebros, familiar with the procedure, ends the conversation by stating it is too far dangerous and it's kind of forbidden, so please don't even go there. Now, that night, Samuel returns to Jorah's cell, explaining he was with Jorah Mormont when he died, handing Jorah rum to drink and placing a leather bit into his mouth. Sam proceeds to use a scalpel and tweezers to peel away Jorah's infected skin and applies an ointment to the newly exposed one. Now, Arya eavesdrops on merchants in a nearby inn at the crossroads until she's surprised by Hot Pie, who asks if Brienne ever found her. She tells her old friend that she headed to King's Landing, but is taken aback by Hot Pie when a Hot Pie reveals that Jon Snow has retaken the Winterfell from the Boltons. Outside, Arya weighs her options and chooses to head north. Now, Arya makes camp into the woods, but is drawn to her feet as a sound of howling. A wolf pack slowly surrounds her, and its alpha steps into view. Now, Arya locks eyes with an enormous creature and recognizes Nymeria. She asks her direwolf to return home to Winterfell with her, but understands when Nymeria steps back into the woods. Now, Maester Wolkin delivers a scroll to Jon, who calls a meeting of the North allies. So this is carried out in the King's Hall in Winterfell. I would call it the King's Hall. But Jon shares the contents of this new message. Samwell Tarly has discovered Dragonstone sits on the mountain of Dragon Glass. He then reveals to the crowd that Dragonstone Sansa protests, that they want to go, that she doesn't want him to go to Dragonstone. He does tell them that he's going to accept, the invite. So she's like, "You're abandoning your people." But Jon states only a king can persuade a queen, and I'm leaving to the north in good hands. Yours. So he tells her that. Standing before Ned's statue in the crypt, Jon is caught off guard when Littlefinger emerges from the shadows. Littlefinger swears he's not one of Jon's enemies. He loves Sansa, just as he once loved her mother. Now, Jon grabs Littlefinger by the throat and issues a warning to stay away from my sister. Leaving the crypt, Jon waves goodbye to Sansa and rides off with Davos and several Stark soldiers. Now, below the deck on Yara's ship, Theon watches uncomfortably as Yara and Illyria flirt. They are interrupted by a sudden explosion, and the Greyjoy siblings rush to the deck to discover the fleet under attack by their uncle, who's Euron's warship, the Silencer. Now, heading straight for them, Euron's men storm aboard, outnumbering Yara's men. Tyene runs to protect her mother below, while Abara and Nym take on Euron. He manages to disarm both women and kill them both with their own weapons. His men seize Illyria and also Tyene from their compartment and drag them away. And then Yara fights Euron, but overpowers her. He overpowers her, holding her axe against Yara's throat. Euron taunts Theon, who stands frozen on the deck. To Euron's delight, Theon drops his sword and jumps overboard, floating into the water. Theon watches as Yara's fleet burns and the Silence sails off with his sister. So, I think what's going to end up happening is he's going to have to save her. Obviously, he has to do something about this. And I feel that this is really bad, terms he's leaving her on. But she kind of was a jerk to him. I think after all that he went through, he was looking for a little bit more compassion, I believe. And I'm not saying he's doing this on purpose, but it's kind of sad to see that he couldn't do anything, being cut as, his member being cut off. I think that's really taken something away from him as a person. Um, I liked Elena Tyrell's thing that she said to Dany. I've known a great many clever men. I've outlived them all. You know why? I ignored them. So Elena Tyrell tells her, you got to think with your own head. You can't let your hand do all the thinking. or else you'll end up dying just like they did. So we must stand together, all of us, if we hope to stop her. So, obviously Cersei is pretending as if she didn't blow stuff up. She's just like the Mad King and anyone else. She blew up the Sept because she did that for her own people. And unlike Cersei, Dany's just not going to do that. Prophecies are dangerous things. I believe you have a role to play. Melisandre did tell Dany of her mistakes, and she was forgiven for those. I didn't include that in before, but hey, I do love this new Game of Thrones season 7, and I hope to see you back next week. Thank you for tuning in, and my name is Elle, and I do apologize for the bad audio on the other videos. I'm going to try to keep them a little bit more updated with the right audio, and I actually did get a new computer. I appreciate all the people that have watched the video so far, and I do appreciate all the time that it took for you to take out to watch this video. Now, I will be introducing next week the new winner of episode 1 of Game of Thrones. That's going to be season 1, I'm sorry, and that person will be announced, and I will be shipping out the following week. I appreciate everybody. A big shout out to Loreti TV and also channelclip.net for allowing me to partner with them. I will be coming up with some more videos that comes to video reviews on that specific um, platform, which I'll be doing some face-to-face news. So if you want to get to know me better, you can come chill with me on channelclip.net because I am the new spokesperson. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and go. And I appreciate everybody that has subscribed newly. Really do appreciate it. I will be trying to come out with some new content more weekly. So thank you for tuning in and have a great rest of your day. And bye for right now. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. Otherwise, come back because I will be doing some more videos, shorter videos through the week that will expand on different things that I think that we should think about on the Game of Thrones. Also, if you have not checked out my full channel lineup, I do have, The Last Kingdom. If you're wondering about that one, it's a really good show to watch. Also have The Young Pope, really good, cool show to watch on HBO as well. I am doing a review of the Medici Masters of the Renaissance. It's really cool. I think it's a really good option to look into because Robert Madden, who was Robb Stark on Game of Thrones, is the actual star of that show. And then as I finish up and wrap up the Medici reviews and recaps, I will be starting Da Vinci's Demons. So it's actually going to be kind of correlated. So you might want to look into that. It's a lot of history, and some of it is not actually really history, but it's really cool to be able to see it on screen. And I think you'll absolutely fall in love with the show if you give it a chance. Ultimately, thank you for tuning in. If you're a creator and you're looking for someone to promote your videos for free, I would recommend Channel Clip. I posted my video on there. Some of my other videos have done like 50 views here and there, not very much. And when I did the Howland Reed video, it just kind of like it did better than usual. So I'm happy for that progress that I've been able to make on that network. Otherwise, it is free and there's no cost to you. If you link with your YouTube channel and you already have ads going, you can just make more money. So I think it's always a plus for that. And they do give out prizes to the ones that they feel that give the best commentary. And I believe next year they'll be doing some sort of award session online. So it'll be kind of cool. Ultimately, thank you for tuning in, and I appreciate you taking the time out. Have a great rest of your day.